Last night was a pretty crazy night, and there's a lot of discussions going on. Many people thought that it was going to be a red tsunami or a red wave. And I think in a lot of ways that it was a very good night for the Republican Party. There were clearly some missteps along the way, and there were some disappointments, no doubt about that. But it was still a good night for the Republican Party. But of course, you have nonsensical weirdos trying to create these ridiculous narratives. People like Mike Cernovich right here that I have his tweet pulled up, which is one of the stupidest things anyone with a working brain and the slightest bit of common sense could say. You also have people like Ben Shapiro and Matt Walsh continuing. These guys have always been never Trumpers. Now, there were times when during Trump's presidency, when he was doing so well, that a lot of these guys had no choice but to fall in line. But let's make it clear. These guys have always hated Donald Trump, and they always will. And anytime there's anything that they can go after him with, they will. And this is causing so many problems within the Republican Party, and it's only helping the Democrats. That's all this is doing. And it is a big problem that I hope more people on the conservative side will call out. I am not a conservative. I am not a Republican. I'm a Trump guy, and I'm a DeSantis guy. Now, there's also this rivalry of sorts brewing with the DeSantis party and the Trump side. I think that is much to do about nothing, but of course the media is running with it, and political talking heads like Cernovich and Shapiro here, who went on his little bitty baby rant like he always does because he's so scared of Orange Man bad. And honestly, Ben Shapiro still has I wouldn't say a severe case of TDS, but he does have a mild case of TDS. He absolutely does. But I was with the DeSantis campaign 2 days this week. I was actually there last night as well during the celebration. It was an amazing, electric atmosphere. Incredible. I am from the state of Florida. I believe Ron DeSantis has the potential to be one of, if not the greatest political or politicians we have ever seen. This man, his ceiling is so high. It's even higher than Trump's. There's no doubt about that. Ron DeSantis can do things that no other person can do, I believe, if he was able to get on a bigger platform. He's proven it in the state of Florida against all odds. He's got a plan. He's clear. He's concise, and he will hold people accountable. I absolutely love Ron DeSantis, and I am fully supportive of Ron DeSantis and whatever he ultimately decides to do. But for the time being, it's Trump's world. It's going to continue to be Trump's world. That's just the bottom line. And I'm still a Trump guy. And I believe that Donald Trump is going to announce next week that he's running in 2024. And I believe he is the best candidate for the position because he's Donald Trump. He's still the most popular guy out there. And this tweet right here from Cernovich just kind of shows why the Republican Party continues to run into problems. The conservative side continues to run into problems because the difference in the conservative side and the Democratic side is that Democrats, liberals, they are united in their hatred of Donald Trump. That is the one thing that unites them and keeps them on the same page. They hate this man. They despise him, and they do anything in their power to stop him. It doesn't matter. That is what unites all of those crazy lunatics on the left. Whereas you have the conservative side where you have a massive group, the biggest base we've ever seen from any one politician, the MAGA side. But then you have never Trumpers like Cernovich and Ben Shapiro and Matt Walsh. They're just going to continue to cry like little children because Orange Man bad. He's so mean and we have to move on from Trump. There is no scenario where moving on from Trump is good for the Republican Party. Not one. There's no scenario where that works because he's Donald Trump. So the plan here should be to support Donald Trump in 2024 because he is the best candidate for the position and he is no one's even close. I love DeSantis. And I think DeSantis can have a higher ceiling than Trump once he goes and runs in 2028, which is what I'm hoping to see. But right now, every single person that is against left-wing nonsense in the Democrats should fall in line and accept that Donald Trump will be your nominee for 2024. And that's just the way it is. And none of your crying and none of your whining will change that. But that's why people like Cernovich and Ben Shapiro and a lot of these other, holier than thou conservatives, they are just as bad as the left wingers, in a lot of ways worse, because they do have some influence with the conservative side and they continue to create these false narratives. Now, Trump made a huge mistake, in my opinion, when he called Ron DeSantis Ron DeSanctimonious. Huge mistake. There was no sense in him doing that. And as a Trump guy, I heard that, and it's probably the one thing that he said that really did piss me off. Now, I did get mad at Trump when he was doing the anti-video game bullshit, which is another discussion we can have about conservatives and how they're so out of touch with the culture war. But when Trump made the video game thing, I can chalk that up to being a boomer. Okay, he's an old guy. He doesn't get that part. When you took the shot at Ron DeSantis 3 days before the primary or 3 days before the midterms, what are you doing? It was insanely dumb by him to do that, and really did ruffle feathers, and rightfully so. So if you're mad at Trump for that particular comment, be mad at Trump for that particular comment. Hold him accountable for that comment. And I think that's justified. But to think that this party is anyone but Trump's is just ridiculous. And these never Trumpers are always going to create these problems, and you can never trust them. So there's going to be a lot more to come from this. Obviously, they're still counting votes in Arizona. Hopefully, Kerry Lake pulls through. Blake Masters, there's still some doubt about him. You've got the election runoff now in Georgia. Hopefully, Herschel Walker gets that Senate seat. But it was overall, I still say it was a relatively good day for the Republican Party, but you have a lot of cowards in the Republican Party that are creating a really bad narrative that is not going to help anyone but the Democrats. And that's the bottom line. You guys have a great day. Thank you very much for checking out this video, and we will talk to you later.